Grab your cup. I want to talk about hearing versus listening. Hearing versus listening. And you might, at the get-go think, yeah, but let's dig in a little bit deeper than maybe how you thought of this before, okay? So hearing, if you're watching this video, you're hearing what I'm saying. But you are listening, really what you're listening to is the voice inside your head about what I'm saying. That's what you're really listening to. You might be hearing my words, but you're listening to, look at her hair. Look at her hair this morning. Why doesn't she do her hair? Why is she talking before, why is she on video before she has makeup on? That cup is annoying me. Why does she have a cup in front of her when she's talking? If you've been around me for a while, watching these different videos, you might have gotten past the voice saying that, but your voice is probably saying things like, oh, is this important to me or not? Do I agree with what she's saying? All those opinions. And that's just in this experience of watching the video, hearing and listening to this video, right? The same thing happens when you're in conversations with live people. That voice inside your head is really who you're listening to. So that voice inside your head is always forming its own opinion, thinking about how it's going to respond, which is very different than listening to what the person is really actually saying. If you're waiting to get your response out first, if you've already decided in your head before they finish saying that you know what they're going to say, or that you disagree, or that you already know their agenda, all the things that that voice might be telling you, it blocks you from really, truly listening and hearing and then being able to respond because you're planning on your reaction. Do you see what I'm saying? See how that makes a difference? So what you're really listening to, what all of us have as an automatic running the show kind of thing, is that voice in our head. And that voice is also always talking to us about ourselves, about our own life, about who we are, about what we think is possible. That voice inside your head is really the captain of your ship. That voice inside your head is the thing that tells you everything about what decisions to make. And here's why that distinction is so important, because that voice inside your head, if it's still dealing from past issues that never really got healed for you, if it's telling you, no, don't do that because it's not going to be safe for you, it's not going to be okay, all the things that that voice will tell you, it's talking to you from past experiences. It's talking to you from the beliefs that got created from those past experiences. So it's not allowing you to be in this experience right now, and it's not allowing you to see yourself differently than you've always seen yourself. When you listen to that voice, right? When you're listening to that voice, and most of us are listening to that voice all the time. The voice is never going away. It is how we're hardwired. But what you can wire is the ability, now a couple of things, the ability to listen differently. When we're stuck in fight or flight, when we're always stressed, we're always listening from a stressful place, we're always listening for a problem, we're always listening out of fear, we're always listening to quickly react. All of the things that are going to really block you from a great communication with another person or making decisions from a broader context rather than out of fear, because that's what you're listening to. That's what that voice is always hammering home on, the fear, right? So that part needs to be rewired if you want to have something other than what you've had, if you want to have different outcomes, if you want to have more power in your life, you want to rewire the voice inside your head so that it speaks from a different place other than fear and other than however you've been treated in the past. Like in romantic relationships, if you've been in relationships where the person, was toxic in some way, didn't really share themselves, and the voice inside your head is going to be in every relationship after that in the same way. So when somebody who's not toxic shows up, you're going to be responding to them as if they were toxic. You're going to be responding to them until you change the voice. You're going to be responding to them in the way you used to respond to other people. And then maybe they're not going to stick around. Or you're going to find people who are toxic because the responding and the reaction is familiar. And that's what you'll gravitate to. So what the voice is saying and what you're listening to and how you listen to it, how much you listen to it. So that is one part of rewiring. When we talk about rewiring the way that we think, that is one kind of tiny piece, actually. It might sound like the whole thing, but it's really one piece of rewiring. But understanding that you're always listening to your own voice about everything else, everyone else, everything that's going on, which means you can never really see it without that lens. It's like you're always looking through the front window of your house. But really, if you could go to the back of the house and look into the backyard instead of always looking at the street, you'd see a whole other thing going on. But you never go to the back of the house because you're used to looking out the front window. That's what listening to that voice without taking control of the voice, without rewiring it so that it's working for you, is going to keep you locked in that front room, always looking out the front window. I hope my analogies work. If you've listened this far, I guess they do, right? So in the work that I do with clients, which is a lot of different ways, but in the Return to You program is a foundational program that is very comprehensive. And one of the basics is rewiring how you think and how you see yourself so that you create different outcomes. You cannot create the same different outcomes while listening to that same voice. Whether what it's saying about you, what it's saying about other people, what it's saying about the world, it's all the same voice until you change it, which is your job and your responsibility, but I can help you do it. If you're interested, put video in the comments. I'll send you a video that I've done about how those things get created. And then if it makes sense and you want to have a conversation, we can connect after that. Okay? Have a great day.